Lisa. Good morning.
Hi. One sec. I just gotta. I'm gonna live stream it, so I gotta
Looking
get
so
all this
fresh.
going. How you doing?
Huh?
How you doing?
Oh, amazing. Really, really good. Thank you. Very good.
Hey.
Nice to meet you face to face.
Yeah, totally. Here we are.
Look like you're doing your Pilates this morning.
What's that?
Said you look like you've been doing your Pilates this morning.
I don't do Pilates. I do yoga, but yeah.
Same diff. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love both.
So while I'm getting this ready, I'll just kind of give you, I have, like I said, the two that want to know the difference between those two. And then I have another woman who has a lot of chronic issues, and she has used the Beamer, and of course she's used TENS, which I mean, this stuff isn't anywhere comparable to TENS, but even with the Beamer, she had a lot of, basically she called it like overstimulation of the nervous system.
Yeah.
Where like not a right away with the Beamer, the TENS she can't even handle, but the Beamer, like afterwards, it was like a delayed response. And it would be like too intense for her.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she's like ready to buy one, but she just wants to kind of, you know, see. I mean, you probably don't have any experience with that because it's so unique.
I use a free PMF mat every single morning and all through the day, probably 3 times, 4 times, a lot actually.
Right, but it works for you, so it's not working. You know, the PMF mat isn't good for her, so she's trying to understand.
Yeah, I think that the PMF, let me get a little water for my essential oils because I can't find my DMT pipe and I'm like kind of tripping out. 1 second. Give me 1 second, I'll be right there, okay? Let me get a little water for my essential oils diffuser.
1 sec, I'm just kind of getting some things prepared, and then I'll let you know right before I go live with this. God, I have a million things here open. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, 1 sec. I'm just finalizing some stuff here, and then I'll let you know right before we go.
Yeah, I'd like to put this on my Facebook wall. I'll share it on my wall so people who know from my stuff can do it also if I have the Facebook Live link or whatever.
What's that?
I say if you have the link for me, then I can go ahead and put it on my Facebook as well. You know?
Okay. Yeah, let me oh, sometimes technology is just funny, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when you're making very big waves in the universe.
I feel like there's been this is not so much resistance in the universe the last couple of days. It's cracking me up like big time. I know, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, right there. It is funny as hell.
Okay, so now that's open. All right,
Where can I find this live? I'm on my other computer right here.
Yeah, here I will send you the streaming URL.
Okay.
1 second. So we're just about ready. I'm gonna go live right now. Okay. And as soon as I go live, I'll send it to you in the chat in Zoom.
Wonderful. That sounds good.
Here we go. What's it doing? Is it live? No, not yet. Come on, Zoom.
Come on, baby.
Oh, that's a valid URL there. Huh. Why is it doing that? Facebook.com. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're going live.
Okay.
Sweet. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Lisa Marie Shaktima, and I have Ryan Conley here with us to discuss the Healy today. I'm so excited to have you here, Ryan.
I'm so excited to be teamed up with you on this project, Lisa. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I just want to say to everybody, with all of my best efforts, I tried dearly to avoid the message that the universe was sending to me with regards to this. And the universe was not having it. Like, I literally could not say no.
I'll vouch for that.
There's been a massive wave behind this with regards to it coming into my space and being really heavily invited for me to come on board and yeah, bring this out into the world as well, and my part of that.
Yeah, we want you. We want you, Abraham Lincoln, remember? Yeah, thank you.
Great. Yeah, I was just wondering, Ryan, if you can start telling us a little bit about the Healy and the technology of it.
Sure, Lisa. So my background, I have a little bit about me. First of all, I have a cryptocurrency background. Was a real estate agent for 10 years before I got into cryptocurrency, which I've been part of for the past 5 years, and have a lot of success in that. But with that being said, Lisa, I consider myself a futurist. And so my passion is working with technologies out there that will truly change the world. And I see where we are right now with the financial global reset. You want to call this the, oh gosh, there's so many great sayings for this, what's taking place right now, and just how things are transforming in the world right now. I just see the Healy project as something that will help really raise people and help them overcome the stress that they've gone through their entire lifetimes since we've been living in this old fiat money system. So it was interesting how cryptocurrency brought me into the frequency movement. But,
interesting.
Yeah. And so I had worked with PEMF, pulsating electromagnetic frequency, for the past 5 years because I had a medical condition involving my brain, which I've got brain scans. I'll show this to you, but it is the results that we've had working with this technology. The Healy device is I've never seen something so powerful. So as you can see, I'm wearing it right here on my head with ear clips. I'm actually, I'll show you this. I'm working with my program that I love to do when I'm doing webinars and stuff like this. I have a specific one for this, is the concentration. You can see this playing on my iPhone right now. And it's a 15,000 hertz right now, where a typical beamer mat would basically be about maybe 40 hertz or so. This little device goes from 0.1 hertz all the way up to 1 million hertz. And it uses artificial intelligence to, almost like sonar, bouncing the frequencies into your body to determine what frequency to apply to your body next, as it plays these frequencies every 10 seconds, jumping from frequency to frequency based on what your body needs to recalibrate and balance.
And so it's microcurrent, right?
This is square wave technology. I know some people out there that they don't have as good as results working with PEMF, and that was my background. Having a PEMF device, it didn't give me the results I was looking for. I love to share my medical story because it's very well documented. And I was diagnosed with early onset dementia that I've been battling for well over 15 years. Lisa, as I briefly have shared with you, and I would go get my brain scanned every 3 years, working with the Amen Clinic, who has more organized brain scans than anyone on the face of the earth.
Wow.
And so I've gone there 4 times. Every 3 years I would go scan my brain. And let me just get those scans 1 second, please. I want to show this to you because I may as well get it right into the power of this. And again, we're not saying
Right.
it really heals anything or anything like this, but I just want to
Right.
share some scans with you.
Right.
And so this was my, let's get to the gnarly ones. This was my brain scan about 10 years ago right here. And you can see like holes were starting to go through my head. These are perfused.
Oh, interesting.
And
Wow.
I was diagnosed with frontal temporal lobe dementia. So my frontal and temporal lobes are actually being heavily affected. I got to do this better, but you can see 3 years later, I went, look at the difference between here and how more
Right.
I got. And the
Right.
lobes actually got bigger in the frontal
Wow.
lobe. Then 3 years after that, look how deteriorated my brain was getting right here.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you can see the I think it says the hippocampus or where the cerebellum or whatever in the back there, how proliferated that is, and that's the Alzheimer's and how deteriorated this is getting underneath right here. And so after using Healy for and also I was diagnosed with PTSD. Also, which they call this ring, this the diamond ring of PTSD. But after using the Healy for 3 weeks, look how whole.
3 weeks? That is all?
Weeks, and that's all.
Oh my God. I expected you to say, in all honesty, I expected you to say like 6 months, a year, something like that. I mean, that's pretty substantial in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's nuts. Gosh, if you can send your link over to my Facebook here, I would be able to share this with mine so we can have more viewers here if you like. If you can.
I shared the link with you in Messenger or in the chat here in Zoom.
Okay, wonderful. So it's just, this has been an amazing technology. What I did at that point, Lisa, is to show how big of an advancement this is. I laminated those test results of scanning for 10 years. I went and sat down at the Amen Clinic and I was like, look, take a look at how much things have gotten better. And they said to me that it was the biggest, they said it was nothing short of a miracle. That's the biggest change they've ever seen in brain scans. I took it to the Paul Allen Brain Institute here in Seattle. Paul Allen helped start Microsoft. He has a big old brain research project over here with 300 employees. And I met with the top 3 people over there. They had a 2-day symposium where MIT was there, who had done the frequency.
Wow,
40 hertz frequency, the 40 hertz frequency, removing the amyloid plaques off the brain receptor sites. That you can look at that study. So again, that's of the Earth's the Schumann resonances. I know you're aware of, obviously being into what you are into. So that frequency, you see the need for, and the Rife technologies where they're using 100,000 hertz for just, I'm not saying Healy did it, I'm just saying that Rife was documenting destroying cancer cells at 100,000 hertz, right?
Right. Yeah, so Mindy asks, how long each day did you use the device or for the 3 weeks? Do you have an idea about how many hours each day you used it?
Well, sorry, just closing down so it's not so bright in my face. I love using the Healy device 3 to 4 hours a day, maybe even more. I work from home, so I do use it a lot. And obviously I wanted to get better. So they typically advise you to do like 2 or 3 programs a day, which are about 20 to 40 minutes long. I like to indulge in the good things in life.
I'm the same way.
Right? Why not? We'll have some more good stuff, right?
Is there too much of a good thing? It's questionable,
but honestly, I've learned and heard that your body will not absorb frequencies that it doesn't require. We have, like in our programs, for example, we'll go to a saturation with the different frequencies out there. And then it's not going to give your body any more of those. It will shift to a different frequency right there. So to answer your question, I did it for hours. And I remember that my body went into this deep reset to where I'm not one to take naps in the middle of the day. Okay? But what I noticed was that after doing this, I'd fall asleep on the couch and I'd work up like my body had been like crystallized. Like it just went through this reset,
I mean, to me, I call that going unconscious because I deal with it a lot in my healing work. I'll have a lot of clients do that. And through my own personal transformation, I had that happen a lot, where I would be working on something and I would just be knocked out. And, I would be sometimes somewhat conscious and I could feel the depth of quite frankly, like the cellular healing that was happening with me. And so I wanted to bring in right now, and that's perfect timing, as far as what I see everybody, and the reason I'm bringing this in is obviously I'm a healer, and I'm a firm believer that for the most part, we have everything that we need inside of ourselves to heal ourselves. However, through my own experience, I've understood like the depths of commitment that takes. I have spent hours and hours in meditation, and I have been given opportunities through my life in which to be able to heal myself and do this kind of work. Not everybody has those opportunities. Not everybody has the ability to have that commitment or that level of even will, or the chronic people who are chronically ill or chronically injured, they struggle a lot with just maintaining the basic necessities of life, let alone trying to step into a level of healing. And so what I was really brought message-wise through with this is a really powerful tool for the people who maybe don't have necessarily resources, time, etc., to be able to really dive into deep states of meditation for long periods of time, and or the chronically injured, chronically ill that are really struggling to get over like the little hump of where they're struggling to maintain just the basic life, let alone stepping into other expressions of healing. And so bringing in these frequencies is really, really powerful. I've always recommended solfeggio frequencies to a lot of my clients. Those come in. I don't recommend them, actually. I should correct myself there. They come in through messages for the clients specifically. And so it's very clear to me, of course, everything is energy. So everything is frequency. So as we tap into, that's exactly what I do in healing is, it's a tapping into that specific frequency, that specific vibration, and offering a transition, a transmutation for that. So that's literally what this device is offering. But it's something that can be personal, that can be carried around and taken on the person. When I went through a very, very sick, very, very, very sick space for myself, and I healed myself, but it took a lot. It took years and a lot of dedication. And one of the things I did was I went to a clinic that it's called the Harmonic Egg. It's this massive machine. You go in, and you get frequency healing. I had to drive 30 minutes out of my way each way, and then each session was $100. And, I could feel the massive transitions it was causing in my body, but that isn't logical for so many people. And so I was so excited to see something that we can literally carry around. So not only can you carry it around and give it to yourself, but you can actually give yourself healing on multiple levels, like throughout the day. Just like you said, Ryan, you're using it for 3 or 4 hours a day. Like that is going to, catapult the potential to support your healing. That it just catapults you into that space where, I was doing it once a week or, as much as I could, and it takes much longer, and there's just a lot more, difficulty, challenges within that space.
Can I see the mic for a second? Lisa, it's beautiful to hear you speak about all this, and you still have not yet even experienced the technology, first of all. So it's awesome in how we came into you and I. I was, because I love Nassim Hardim's work. I love his jewelry, and I want his jewelry so bad now. I'm jealous. And I want the big fatty one that he has, right?
Yeah, I've got one of those.
I got Nassim Hardim's work in my home and stuff. You're so lucky and fortunate, so blessed. And the thing about it is that we talk about, people working the 9 to 5, the Henry Ford 9 to 5. What you just said, what resonated with me right there, Lisa, is this is not how with the technologies that we have nowadays, and jumping into cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and 3D printing and all these great things out there. There's so much abundance, and we're going through this massive shift right now, and people are going to have more. My point is that the Henry Ford 9 to 5 work week, and people are going to just to make a paycheck to support their families. This is a way of the past that we're letting go of. And I love this saying in life: if not this, then what? If not this, then what? If not just making a paycheck, how do we go ahead and help the most amount of people so we're actually just blessed and the blessings come to us? How do we, taking and people that are working all the time, they don't have the time to go into that deep reset that we were discussing right there. well, that deep set of reset that we were talking, that's so necessary, not just for healing, but in a space how we are all supposed to live, so we can vibrate at a higher frequency, so we can have more meaningful relationships, so we can utilize the law of attraction, so we can use these higher skills like telepathy and really clearing up communication between us, and things that I've experienced that continue to improve.
Yeah, and what comes through right now, which I really love, because like, you know, I do sessions on people, and of course when people are chronically ill, it's like, I just wish I could just be in contact with them 24/7, which I do to some degree. I bring them into my space and I help vibrate, you know, their frequency, but at the same time I have their clients, I have other things. And also not even like chronically ill, but just even people who are, you know, really working to expand their consciousness. I do one session with them, and then they go out into the world and they encounter, you know, the stresses of life. So what came through right now that I really, really like is that they'd be able to wear this, right? So like they have sessions, because I believe it is like any of this work is a multifaceted scenario. You have to take on multiple different ways of bringing this into your life to really, really create massive expansion. And so if they're doing, you know, meditation, they're doing these things that are really helping them, and then they're wearing the Healy, and you know, throughout their workday or something like that, where they are encountering those stressors. That is a massive, massive. I love how this is coming through. It's such a powerful thing, because in the moment that they are experiencing the stressor, they are supported by a frequency, and that right there, guys, is really powerful to actually like recalibrating the neurons in your brain and recalibrating the patterns, the thought beliefs, all of that structure, all of the things that our subconscious runs from and runs within the programming. You have the opportunity to start to like be in the moment with it, which is really, really like, I just love how that just came through.
Yes, and what you just talked about, being in the moment. When I had my frontal temporal lobe dementia situation, they say that there's no cure for this, for FTD.
Right.
And it's a very aggressive form. And let me tell you and share with everyone, because there's a lot of people that don't know. They've heard about Alzheimer's, but they haven't heard about FTD. And it was very clear that's what I had. And I'm not saying that this cures or treats anything. I'm just saying, look at the brain scans, and that there probably should be more. And that's what I'm striving for right now. I'll go sit down at the Amen Clinic, and we're going to start doing some studies on, and just shout out to Amen Clinics, Dr. Daniel Amen of amenclinics.com. KAMENCLINICS.com. And it is time. This is such, like we're talking about, if not this, then what, Lisa? Let's talk about the scalability of what you do to help people. I know that your heart is there to help people, you know, and stuff, and you're an amazing soul and being, and we all have the ability to contribute to this, and it's such divine timing right now that this device, like, I don't think about the money with Healy. All I know is that I have 7,000 people now using this technology, and I never saw myself getting involved in this. I did extremely well in cryptocurrency the past 5 years. It saved my life when I was almost I was very financially blessed, but I was to the point where I couldn't go grocery shopping. I'd stare there in an empty blank and not understand. Seriously, and be like, I don't know what I'm even here getting. You know, looking at my children and looking at a wall, I have to trick my mind to actually add value. I know this sounds crazy. Like people, there's such a stigma when it comes to the dementias, and you don't really know the full extent until you're there, because it really hurts. But then imagine something hurting you, but you can't even feel the emotion of basically hurt because you're so out to lunch. You know what I'm saying? So what you said about being in the moment, you know, that is what Healy does. And this thing with meditation is off the freaking charts. Every morning I start my day putting on my PMF mat, having my organic coffee with super mushrooms in it and stuff like this, and niacin, you know, and I lay there on the PMF mat, blasting the frequencies through my brain, and also listening to a wonderful intention frequency music with these higher frequencies. And I always use the Solfeggio frequencies at night. I can't stress the importance of that as well. So it's just great to connect with all the healers and you, and just this collective consciousness. This is such divine timing right now. If not this, then what? This is where we're supposed to be right now. No question about it.
Yeah, so a couple of things I want to just mention as far as you guys understand, like what the basis behind this, and this is on the Healy website, but it, you know, why do these frequencies help our, you know, our physical bodies And one of the things is the metabolism of our cells is one of the most important things for our physical body to be able to operate well at its optimum, or even, you know, to prevent illness and disease. And the frequencies really help to basically create the space so that the cells can metabolize at their most optimum rate. So you think about the cell being, you know, the basis of your entire body. It has to be able to metabolize, you know, the oxygen, the water, and the nutrients that come in and out of your body, as well as get rid of, you know, the things that don't belong in your body. So that's the metabolism that the cells need to be able to do for you to be at your optimum. And these frequencies really help that and support that process at its best capacity. Ryan, I wanted to ask you a couple of things, because I do know I have some people that they use biofeedback and they use Rife. What is the difference between these?
Well, I want to show you this image real fast before we jump on that topic. And this is a picture of the cells. My friend who's a doctor actually took this these before and after pictures of being on the Healy for an hour. And you can see the top image right there where the cells are, the red blood cells are all stacked up. And if you look really fine, you'll see the inflammation spider webs in the black back there. You probably can't see this. I actually have this on a YouTube video. Look at this 1 hour after using it. So this is why NASA is using frequency technology, you know, to stimulate the blood flow of astronauts in space when they don't have gravity to help, you know, keep the body going. But can you repeat your question one more time? Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, and I'm glad you showed that image, because that's basically what I was speaking of. Yeah, so I know I have some current people who use Rife and the biofeedback, and so they're asking, you know, what the difference is between biofeedback, Rife, and the Healy.
Right. So from what I understand with Rife, I call this like a portable Rife machine in your pocket, basically. You know, it connects via Bluetooth to your smartphone. You've got 150 programs on this thing right here. So it's you can see here I have all these apps on my smartphone, which Rife doesn't have, or these are technologies. How cool this is. One of these is to analyze my frequencies at our highest level of $2,500. It's on sale, $900 off right now, which is a smoking hot deal until the 25th of this month. I'd really encourage that, because from my understanding, Lisa, you know, a device that actually analyzes and this kind of thing, these the biofeedback devices, you're talking about a $15,000 to $18,000 machine typically, with anything that really gets into the analysis aspect of things. And then, you know, you got your Healy app here in the corner. So I press that one right there, and I have a long list of frequency programs, 150 programs. I just touch a screen. It beams it over using Bluetooth technology to the device within 10 seconds. Then you can turn your phone off. I just want to be clear on that. It's not like it's sitting here blasting you with Bluetooth frequencies heads up all the time. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But in regards to Rife, like from what I do understand about Rife, amazing guy about 100 years ago, you know, they're using light frequency and stuff. You know, frequency can be through light. Frequency is, everything is frequency. So we are using something called square wave frequency, which I think is, from what I've experienced using, and I've used Tesla coils before, I've used, I mean, I'm even using this piece of glass that's on NASA spaceships. It's got the, you know, the flower of life or whatever you call this, you know, right there. Okay. This has some metal, some kind of frequency in it, but the frequencies that you feel with, and I've used, you know, the PMF, which you don't, it's a very, very subtle feeling. With these square wave technologies, you feel the pulses of energy, again, from 0.1 hertz up to 1 million hertz pulsing through your body. And the cool thing is every frequency feels different, right? Some feel like spider webs going through, I don't know how to describe. Some are tingling, some are thumping, you know, at the lower. I'm not the best to explain the difference between this. I know that Rife wasn't square wave frequency. I believe it's definitely more light frequency. With the bioenergetics, the biofeedback, this is just, it is a feedback device. It uses artificial intelligence, again, to give you those frequencies through every program. So every time you run this program on yourself or others, it's going to be different than the other time that you use it. And then it has also the ability to upload your frequency results into an encrypted cloud storage. Think of how cool this is. Okay, we are creating a medical cloud, and obviously the more data that we run into that medical cloud, that you don't have to if you don't want to, but I like to contribute to it. The reason why I have no issue with it is because I know who the owners of this company are. This is not 23andMe or something like that, who I don't have as much trust in, you know what I'm saying? And the more we contribute to that cloud, the value of our company increases as well, because data is more valuable than oil nowadays. I even read something yesterday. It said that Zoom, what we're on right now, is now worth more than all of the airline companies in the world combined.
I'm sure, considering what just happened, yeah.
I mean, so think about how things are shifting so much, right? Yeah. So we pay $1.5 million quarterly to have our medical cloud, encrypted medical cloud, evaluated and audited to make sure that the company doesn't have access. It's encrypted. You have your master keys as a residence owner. I think that's pretty cool.
And what comes through, so I don't know, as far as, again, the RIFE and the biofeedback, because I want to try to give as much information there as possible. What comes through message-wise is that the Healy is more personalized. So that's just a message coming through, but it feels more personalized in the extent it has over 230,000 different frequencies. So the individualization, the personification, I don't know, I'm making up words, the personalization, and the uniqueness of how it can really tap into each individual's needs feels more expansive. From me feeling into the RIFE and whatnot, it feels more expansive. And then again, as far as it being something that is, as you can see from Ryan, a personal wearable device that you can use literally anywhere at any moment. And so I think those two key points are the main differences: the personalization and all the massive amounts of frequencies, as well as the wearability and
And the other thing also to touch base on, Lisa, is we have a quantum processing Russian chip inside of our device beyond the frequencies that our inventor, who Marcus Schmieke, he's a renowned book author. I think he's done over 10 books in 25 different languages or something like this. He is the head of TimeWaver, the parent company. So definitely go look at TimeWaver. That's one word as you do research, so you really understand the magnitude of what we're working with here. He has something inside this little device called a Core GF mirror. It's a very small thing that deals with vibration. And so when we're doing, in our analysis, we're not just dealing with frequencies, we're dealing with, from what I understand, fourth and fifth dimension. I have an article for this, so this isn't my wheelhouse discussing this, but it's a great fun rabbit hole to be in and discuss, because it's never ending. But it brings in the resonance. It's kind of like sending out a prayer, right? And things shift in the world and you manifest. That's what this does. So when I run this thing and let's say I say, well, I want to know what amino acids or what Bach flower to use or something like this, or what crystals, I go ahead and click that and I can manifest using the Core GF mirror to bring those things into existence, into this, space.
And I like that you brought that up, because so thank you, because I get more messages with regards to that information. It goes beyond just, physical health and wellness. This is also, going in expansive consciousness. So I'm really glad you brought that up, because that is something that I felt right away with it, which is one of the reasons I personally adore it. There's a lot of things to support our physical bodies, but I'm all about expanding our fucking consciousness, and catalyzing ourselves into higher levels of understanding and consciousness.
You just drop a cool F-bomb right there?
Huh?
You just drop a cool F-bomb right there?
Yes.
Nice. Fucking consciousness. Yes.
I'm a big F-bomb person.
I love
it. So the Healy does actually support that, guys. It does actually support a level of frequencies that do take on a different flavor. And there are programs for the meridians. There are programs for the chakras. I wanted to share some of these photos of some of these programs. So depending on which model you get, and you get different programs, so this isn't necessarily available for all the models. But for one, somebody asked about protection, because this is a device. So I just wanted to show, I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that, Ryan?
I'll just touch base on that. What we're looking at right here, everyone, is we have protection frequencies. So electrosensitivity, that's a little bit better, but geopathy, and all these are planetary alignment, all these things. You think about the solar flares and stuff that you hear about, Mercury retrogrades and all this crazy, this real stuff that some of us are more in the know of than other people out there. This stuff is real, and there is protection frequencies. Again, I'm not going to say that this go ahead and blocks everything for the 5G networks, but truly what this does is, think about this, it is creating, and we're having more research done, you know, and handed to the FDA, which is really important because we really respect their opinion, and we're doing lots of studies. Just a heads up on all this, we have our FDA paperwork that we have already have to open up in the United States, the clearance aspect of things. That's just something for pain and stuff like this, and I believe depression or whatever it is, because it does have an uplifting effect to it. But also it's, gosh, I don't know, it's something really important to say right there. There's so much about this. About this. So my point is when you're running the frequencies through your body, think about this. For example, when you do a PEMF mat, the frequencies go about 3 feet up above you. So if we took that idea that this little device, as it's connecting right here, and maybe potentially where it's you know, going from positive to negative and connecting the device, imagine that putting off a bubble, you know, of a radius of about 6-foot bubble around us of these different frequencies out there that obviously are going to offset other incoming frequencies, whether it's the 5G, 4G network, you know, the different things out there. All I know is I feel pretty dang good, and I live right here next to Microsoft, so we know what's going on over here, you know.
Yeah, and again, you know, everybody, raising our vibration is literally how we raise our consciousness. So when we start to really play in these frequencies, when you're constantly playing and you're constantly surrounded by literally a field of a higher vibration, you know, you are really offering all levels of your being, your mental, your spiritual, your emotional, and your physical bodies, the ability to elevate, literally, because you're surrounded in that field.
That's
so
correct.
There's so much expansion possible here within all of those aspects of your being. I did want to go ahead, Ryan.
I just want to touch base. You know, look at what the motivational speakers like the Bruce Liptons, let's see, you got Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, the Braden, Gary Braden, what was his name? Braden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I really truly believe that we're going to see these people come on board of this. And that's why, like, when I reached out to you, is my intention, like, I really love to work with Nassim Hardy and really get into this, because he's such an amazing gentleman when it comes to studying all this other stuff. And look what he's created. He's created this jewelry, and the potential for us as a Healy, you know, we've got 50-something thousand people in our company that are so passionate about frequencies, are extremely knowledgeable, that have these experiences, and being in 45 countries already, about ready for us to expand from Canada all the way down to Central and South America. I mean, the potential of a collaboration. I love the saying that collaboration is the new competition. I think that these great men need to look at what Healy is doing. We don't need to reinvent the wheel here. We have access to all these different frequencies. We want to see more studies with people coming on board saying, hey, these frequency combinations do this, and here's the study behind it. Just like the 40 hertz frequency is proven to reduce inflammation by 50%. And here we are raising proven ATP cellular energy production with Healy also 500%. That's pretty dang impressive right there.
Yeah, and so I wanted to share some other programs that are on these devices, guys. So there's the protection programs, there's the fitness program where you can dial into weight, muscle, circulation, performance, strength, stamina, regeneration. There's Gold Cycle program, which is, I believe, Ryan, right, the primary device where it's kind of like pure care, balance, being, energy, relax, release.
Correct.
There's a learning program, so you can really tune in as you're learning something, really tune in your brain again, like what I was saying earlier, right? You're taking a specific frequency in that moment, and that's helping the neurons, the transmission of your brain. So that's a program. There's mental balance.
On that note, real quick, it's very interesting because when we're between the ages of 1 to 7, I have a 7-year-old and a 12-year-old. They're sponges of knowledge, and the reason why this is because their brain dropped down to a theta wave state. So we actually have learning programs. One of the programs we have up and coming, Lisa, is one that is it will help you learn a second language fluent in 90 days. Is what they're doing also with this company too. So imagine how cool that is. This is not just one of those learning language programs, you know, online that you get or whatever, you know, a Stone or whatever it is.
And I love that because, again, that's a great, like, tangible representation of what I was speaking speaking of. But again, guys, this goes into everything because it's the same thing how you learn a language in a lot of ways, not exactly, but it's very similar to how you are learning in your reality. So when you're reflected something and you're responding through your subconscious, right? How you're learning within your day-to-day. So again, when you're having this and you're wearing this all the time and you're up against these stressors that normally trigger you, normally send you into these natural patterns, you're being given the opportunity to literally rewire your brain and tap into that neuroplasticity.
It's so true. I feel it more every day. I look forward to it because I feel my mind honestly expanding every single day. More,
yes,
more.
Exactly.
Like, relationships are getting stronger and manifesting more. Like,
yeah, of course, manifesting, because that's a direct representation of your frequency. So the higher your frequency is getting within all of your chakras, all of your organs, all of your entire being, the more clear your manifestation is, because we're always manifesting. The other programs, the next one is mental balance. So you can work on both your emotional and your mental balance. So super, super important for a lot of people. Meridians, again, so I do this a lot in my healing. Again, things will just come through where like energy will start to open up meridians in the physical body, that because meridians are shut down, they're closed, or they're not really receiving and giving energy clearly to specific organs, specific areas of the body that can also, you know, mess with like hormonal distribution and balance, pain. So those are like a lot of the programs, guys, that are available through these devices.
Yeah.
I did want to tap into. I have a Cheryl. She has a lot of issues, and I know this is kind of unique, but I did want to offer this opportunity for her question. She can't handle the TENS device, which I understand, you know, is a very different device from the Healy. But even the Beamer, she had troubles. It really bothered her system. Do you have any insight on that, Ryan?
Well, again, at least I have 7,000 people using this device, and people are having phenomenal results. Beamer never really got me too excited. I love working with the Beamer people, and I really do love you know, the mat technology. I have a mat right now. It's $400 that my doctor created. That he works for DARPA actually, and he's on the board of Washington Health. So this he's one of the most brilliant men I've ever met. I love this guy, Dr. Chris Angel, and so there's different. It just depends on the mat. I even had someone tell me one time that Beamer, they thought Beamer caused cancer, and I'm not saying that it does whatsoever. You know, so everyone's different, but at the same time, you know, we are all frequency and stuff, and you know, I just think that the square wave is very non-intrusive and has a very positive impact on the body. And I think that more studies are going to come out very clearly on, you know, the mental capabilities of what it's doing for us. They're the physical beings, and some of this is just beyond words and beyond what we can see with the naked eye and the finest microscope, you know. So
have you had many experiences of people having any kind of, you know, Herxheimer reaction, detox reactions, basically is my question?
Yeah, I would say it's short-lived when it comes to detox reactions. I would encourage you to drink lots of water. You know, definitely, it does have an effect on your minerals. So I take a lot of supplements. You know, I think if you just eat healthy, you're completely fine unless you're rocking it 3 to 4 hours a day. Maybe 6, maybe 7, 8, you know, like I do. You know, it's amazing. I mean, I have found myself, I'm fine with 3.5 hours with the sleep right now, just like I had last night, and I'm pretty dang focused after a cup of coffee and a PMF session and this and my great intention frequencies in the morning. So it's I just can't say, and I've seen some people with detox. I think even when I went through my reset, I think I definitely had some detox going on also at that time. I recall a little bit. It was kind of interesting, but
so what did that feel like for you? Just curious.
Just more like probably like you know, flushing the body and stuff like this, and
right.
Just you know, right. So. And,
yeah, again, so what comes through, Cheryl, for that, and anybody else that's interested, is, again, it feels to me the Beamer only has a couple of frequencies. So the Healy has 100, like I said, I think it was over 230,000. It's basically substantially more.
100,000. I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, if you look at the price of a Beamer, $7,000, they're getting, 10 frequencies or whatever, and you times that, have 30,000 times more than that.
Yeah.
A fraction of, for 1/3 of the cost almost.
And it's something portable. The Beamer's not portable, but
no.
But yeah, again, like just going back to that, like the fact that there is so many more frequencies to me means that there is a lot more option to be able to tap into, potentially what the body needs initially, perhaps a different frequency to be able to then use the frequencies that the Beamer was at. So there may be other like intro frequencies that your body, this is what's coming through specifically for you, Cheryl, that your body needed to be supported in first before it could take on those other frequencies. So just the fact, again, that it has so many frequencies gives such a plethora of opportunity for you to feel into and really extract what your body needs now, and then like to start stepping up and expand and change as your body, as your your mind, everything changes. There's all those frequencies to go with you and to change along with that.
Yeah, and I would also advise they say start out with the gold frequencies. That comes with our smallest package right now, which is $500. That right now until the 25th gets you 85 different programs, so it bumps you up to the 1,000, because our devices, it's all the same hardware. We are selling intellectual property programs here, which is beautiful because there's no shipping, and that's why we have a phenomenal compensation plan, Lisa.
Right.
But working with the gold frequencies, that is 144,000 different frequencies. That was those programs were made by a gentleman named Dr. Nuno Nina out of Europe. He has, I think, 8 different frequency practices. He's one of the most highly respected names in the field of frequency medicine. And also Dr. Carolyn McMakin. Shout out to Carolyn McMakin. She's down here in Portland, Oregon, just south of me. I'm up here in Bellevue, Washington, near east of Seattle, 10 minutes. But Carolyn McMakin, she is absolutely phenomenal. She's a dear friend of mine, and she's actually coming out with our, in the fall, our 2-channel frequency device also called the Healy. So you stay tuned for that up and coming as well. But I love the Healy device. I've used 2-channel frequency, but I love this little device. This thing's
okay. So yeah, the gold being 144,000, you're still substantially more. And yeah, it definitely feels like the Healy Gold is being a great intro, so to speak.
Yeah, because you got the detox, you have the balance. The programs, you kind of use your intuition, just go with those and maybe stick on those the first few days and get a really good balance in your body and a good, gentle detox, and just it then broaden out to different ailments that you may want to focus on.
Definitely. Yeah. And then one of the other things I wanted to bring in is just, the support of, if you're a person who already eats healthy, or you already take lots of supplements, you already meditate, you already exercise, any of those things, and all of them, again, the support through a device like this with those other applications is really, really profound, is what I'm being shown. Because again, you take supplements, but again, if your cells are not actually, what was the word I used? The metabolizing, right? If they're not metabolizing well, a lot of those supplements are not being utilized by your cells. So like, again, the process of supporting at a cellular level, and as well as then taking supplements, as well as then exercising, as well as eating better, not that you have to eat perfectly, guys, not that you have to be perfect, because it's not about being perfect, it's about enjoying your life, but having this support, this frequency support throughout all these different aspects of your life is really where it's like having, it's really beautiful the way that it comes through. It's like, having that unconditional love, literally, like throughout your life. Like, you're eating in that space, you're meditating in that space, you're exercising in that space, you're working in that space. And that's where all these massive changes are potentially going to occur for you.
And I want to add also, the metaphor, looking at like what blockchain technology did in finance and stuff like this, with all the different, the currencies of the world, and how much that is shifting this. It's an underlying technology, just like frequency, it is an underlying technology. It's really interesting and kind of humorous, because in the network marketing space, you may have someone that's like, oh, I'm with USANA, or hey, I'm with Isogenics or Purium, or all these great companies. Network marketing has done a phenomenal job getting the word out there about all the superfoods and all these different phenomenal formulations, right? But the thing about it is we have all the patents on this technology, and we work synergistically. Again, collaboration is the new competition. So you can't just say, no, you can't promote another company. It's so disruptive because it enhances that. So you have to, companies must set their ego aside and say, look, we got to let our distributors be part of this technology too, because it's only going to go ahead and increase the health results. You can't put money over the health benefits of their distributors' lives. It's a beautiful thing, and it unites us all.
Right. And again, like with my own personal experience, I've just really, my health really shifted once I started, tuning into frequencies and vibrations. And I was, taking supplements, I was doing everything, and I was getting very little. And so, again, like frequency is everything. And to me, this technology is just, it makes perfect sense. That's where our consciousness is going. We're all beginning to tune in. The word frequency, the word vibration is everywhere, because people are really beginning to understand how this truly is everything. And so being able to tap into those and begin to understand them, and to begin to understand which ones you need in that moment, or what's going to benefit you or benefit others, it's so incredibly beautiful. Because yes, we can meditate, and we can meditate on our chakras, but I can definitely feel like, oh, this is one vibration and this is one vibration, whether they match or they don't match, and where is that other vibration. But guys, I've been doing this for a really long time, and I have worked my ass off to get where I am. So a lot of people can't do that. They can't feel into these subtle energies. And so that's kind of eliminated for them, that capacity to feel into this is this vibration. And
it's kind of like a VIP club. You may go visit it, but you don't necessarily belong to the club.
Yeah. I mean, like it takes a lot of work together, and be like, okay, I'm resonating at this frequency, and to take myself to this other frequency, and to know how to do all of that is very, very advanced, and you have to be really tuned into those subtle energies. So I'm really excited, because I feel like this helps bridge a lot for people that I'm trying to help them bridge in so many ways. But again, it's like a foot up, it's like I'm an equestrian, and you're always like giving somebody a foot up onto the back of a horse, right? It's like giving you that foot up. It's not, a magical pill, but it is a foot up in your space and in your development. And again, all aspects of your development, not just the physical body, not just your consciousness, not just your emotional, mental well-being, all of it.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And that's where we are right now. Everyone is, we need to help everyone get a foot up. We need to help other people. We need to, people hide their emotions, what they're going through. Oh, hey, my family's fine, just living off the street.
Exactly.
They're not telling you everything that they're going through, the stress that deep down in their being is just like bringing their frequency down of hope. We are going to supercharge everyone and have so much fun doing this. And every day is a blessing. I'm just really excited to be teamed up with you and this, Lisa, and I'm excited to meet with everyone. And look, we just met through our crystals. When I went to the page, I was like, these guys are really cool. These guys know what's up.
Yeah, our crystals. Like, I love these guys.
Yes, I can't wait to have that.
Yeah, and the other thing, is like, again, a lot of people live in spaces like, I live in the forest. I'm super anal about the water I drink. I actually charge my water with the art crystals. Like, I'm really, tuned into these things. But a lot of people live in the city, and they're drinking like really nasty water, and they're exposed to a lot of toxins. And so again, these are the kinds of devices that can really take that kind of environment and substantially lift it up the frequency of it. So if you're in these spaces, or perhaps you're just in a toxic, you know, your career is really challenging or potentially even toxic for you. Maybe even your family life is toxic for you, you know, and emotionally toxic, mentally toxic. Again, this is the type of thing that you bring this in and you're really giving yourself, you know, the benefit of what I received living in the forest, drinking really accelerated water, you know, like you're bringing the ability to be where you are right now in a higher frequency. That's substantial, guys. I cannot express that enough.
Yes, yes. Amen, Lisa. I think we've
So,
covered pretty much everything.
yeah, one last question, Ryan, and then we'll finish. How does it deplete minerals is the last question.
I mean, I really don't know. I'm not a chemist or a doctor or anything like this, but I just, you know, I just heard it's important to just replenish. I mean, I personally drink a 9.0 water. I take a multivitamin. I take, you know, just all kinds of great stuff. I really don't know the answer to that, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not like it just rapidly decreases it. I mean, you're fine with probably your daily, you know, but if you're going to go on and do hours and hours on end like I do on this, I just listen to my body. I'm like, okay, you know, I need more, you know, I take just good stuff, vitamins all through the day and superfoods. So
Yeah.
listen to your body. And
yeah, so I'll just respond with like, yeah, the messages I'm receiving with regards to that is, for one thing, you definitely need to increase your intake of water while you're doing this, because again, you're working on a cellular level with frequencies. So anytime you're increasing your water intake, you have to be aware of any mineral imbalances, because you are flushing your system. And again, especially at the beginning of this, what I'm hearing, messages I'm receiving is that, you know, again, at the beginning, there is a level of detox, there is a level of flushing, and depending on your environment. So if you do live in the city, if you are exposed to a lot of toxicities, there will always be some level of flushing through the Healy. So you need to increase your water, and through that flushing, you do lose your capacity of mineral absorption, and you do lose minerals through that process.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yes, and so if you're using it and you're really getting your cells up to a really great metabolistic rate, and you're in a good environment and all of that, it feels like actually what will start happening is you'll start absorbing the minerals much more efficiently than before. So anyways, that's just messages I'm getting, guys.
Yes, amen. Wonderful. Well, we're excited to see where this video goes, the hands that it falls into, the lives that we change, the people's lives that we bless all together, and what is possible, Lisa. From what I've experienced, you know, I've got about 180 something people on my front lines with this company now. Every day I feel it's something that everyone needs, and just the growth that we're seeing. This is going to be, it's like one of the, because we have zero competition. Looking at a product, there is no competition in the entire world in regards to this product right here. There truly is not. You've seen things come out like the Muse, for example. Well, that's $500. You know, this meditation thing, all these little things. I've got a red light, Vilight system over here that's $1,500 that just does one frequency and puts red light, you know, therapy into my mitochondria through my cranium and stuff. And again, boom, there's $2,000 up. And you're probably only getting about what is that? That was like maybe just a few frequencies. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel. So this is an opportunity right now during this quarantine time for those who are even looking for an income aspect of things to really sustain their families and have something to be passionate and really go through a metamorphosis, change during this reset that's taking place right now. Healy is it.
And again, something that's wearable. But again, like, I haven't backed all of these things because they've felt very partial to me. They haven't felt, this is the first time that the universe was like really pushing. And I literally feel like this is the wave of the future, both for, you know, ourselves individually and for our collective consciousness, physical, mental, everything, wellness.
The universe has communicated me so many times, very, very loud and clear, that this is where you need to be.
Yeah.
And it just reassures there's going to be so many blessings for the people that partake in this mission right now. There's no question about it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of universities that are really doing studies on this, guys, as far as frequency healing. Big universities are starting to take this kind of healing on. It is not just voodoo stuff. This is serious, you know, and the science is going to be showing up to really, you know, quote unquote, validate it for those people who are more scientifically driven. But for me, I'm very much, you know, energetically driven. I feel it, I know it, and that's where I'm headed.
Right there with you, girl. Right there with you.
Sweet. All right.
Well, hey, it was very wonderful seeing you today. I wish you a blessed day, Lisa.
Definitely. Thank you, Ryan.
Yes, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
everyone, joining us.
All right, take care, everyone. Blessings.
Bye.
Take care.